So that was a good show, wasn't it? You know?
It was. At the end of the day, you can conceive these things, Peter, in the loneliness of 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're putting it on and see it all come.
No, but I missed the last one. I was there.
Yeah.
Remember, it was 2 series ago, but that was very good. I found it very informative, especially on the twin pillar. You know, the finance
how
side.
it all.
The whole idea of the products that were being built for the finance platform.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting, and
it makes us feel like so small.
Yeah, it
you know,
is.
Start talking about the whole Chinese one road thing.
It is, and it's particularly good too that the Premier's been doing a lot of work, and I know he gets hammered every time. Why do you have to go to Asia every year? Or, you know, it takes money, but some of the issues that he started looking at 3 years ago are now he can begin to see the fruits of his labor. The office is now really up and running and going, and with the fly thing now, he's now harassing me and saying, look, we need to get the tourism element going, because it was tourism initially, financial services, and cultural and educational things.
Yeah.
So now he wants to move to all of that.
No, it was very good. It was very informative, actually. We should make more of an effort on an annual basis to support it.
Well, we'll certainly
For sure.
would welcome that, yeah.
And you've got a good following as well, in folks, along with the ear of the government.
Yeah, I have to say to their credit, Dr. Cochran and the Premier.
Yeah.
Most times he's the only one who speaks on the government, but Mark normally comes, Minister Vanderpool and Walvin also tonight. I guess they had other things today. But it's good to have them there. I said to people, the one good thing with Dr. Smith as Premier is he sits there and he listens, and rarely does he intervene and say, that's another view on this. He listens, he soaks it up, don't care what you say, and but he takes it back and he can act on it, and so that's quite good. And the governor comes, so I appreciate things with the Morons and for the winter.
For the winter, we are doing exceptionally well for the high season. We are seeing double-digit growth from last year. Primarily, we look at it in quarters, obviously, and Q1, as we say, which is October, November, December, has been strong. Christmas and New Year's especially strong. We've got a slight, we're just waiting on, strangely enough, the weather to go a bit colder up north.
Yeah, I was
which has been a bit of a factor there. So we think February is just a bit of a hole at the moment, but we've got a few snowdrifts coming across the
I was
eastern
teasing
seaboard.
Nathan about that too.
No, it's an interesting part of the business, but you know, once folks have lived in the cold for a while, they just book and they're on an aeroplane from New York tomorrow.
That's what we do.
No, the BVI's very strong. We're also seeing a strong Q3, Q4. Expecting it based on the, and we didn't discuss it really, Latin America.
Oh, yeah.
Because of course that's a counter-cyclical season, so we're seeing some good growth. I mean, a bit of a bump from Brazil, but generally, you know, in good shape. Although sports tournaments might throw a bit of a shadow over that latter part of the year. But no, generally we're in good shape here in the BVI's. We've brought in, we've offloaded 70 or so yachts for the season, which were all really on charter for the Christmas period.
Good.
That's a combination of monohulls, big monohulls and big cats, and we're probably going to be seeing further increases in the cat fleet. It's primarily moving towards catamaran.
I can see it in the harbors wherever you go.
That's where the demand is. But the two areas that I was alluding to is and I've been talking to our friends there this afternoon, is that really the low barrier to entry for the BVI's is the crude yacht product.
Yeah, okay.
So high end, we've now got 15 of our 58-foot yachts here, fully crewed, 3 crew per yacht. Very busy. Generally high net worth individuals. You know, it's not a cheap vacation any longer. And that growth is where we see the future, along with power.
That's interesting.
You know, the power boaters ratio-wise in North America is about 10 to 1 to sail.
Yeah.
Some of our sailors are getting a bit older to not really want to get too physical on the sailboats, so they're going into power.
It's a good transition.
The accommodation's pretty much the same, the platform's the same. The ease of transition around the islands is perfect, and the fuel rates are low.
Yeah. No, it's a good sweet spot, and it's good to see that things are stabilizing considerably and moving along. I certainly quite encouraged by the traffic out of the U.S. that you're building, and this is where the Miami direct flight comes in, and hopefully.
Well, I'm looking for a better description than game changer, because it's almost a new game.
Yeah.
In the sense that, for sure, I don't really think people understand some of the barriers that we've had.
And unless you're in the business, that don't.
But it was well recognised during the conference, which was good. And that is a part of it, but the entire service element of that flight is important. The coach, the transitional element.
All of that is going to be critical.
And then at the meet and greet end, of course, it was good to hear that there was a sort of meeting of the minds, consensus on the immigration stroke. And I realised that was more immigration stroke labour element. I know that was more from a permit point of view, but also I think immigration and customs at the airports or the ports of entry need to work more closely together.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a huge sensitivity now to that, and a lot of it is being driven by the work that was done with that McKinsey study. And Jerry Ferrara was the appropriate person to head that up, has the credibility, and clearly he's looked at it very detailed as to what needs to be done, and isn't afraid to say, look, if we're serious, this is what we got to do.
Well, that was a good piece that I took from today, was that whole McKinsey outcome.
Yeah.
And certainly that element of it. I mean, good news from many perspectives. And I mean, obviously the flight, and even the vision of the long term, saying, okay, this is fine. It's an interim. It needed a quick fix.
Yeah.
But we're still going to go for the longer runway in the long term, which is good news. But no, generally we're very optimistic, and the BVIs, as I know from my travels, is always going to be the place that people come back to. I mean, the Caribbean is getting stronger, and I think it's going to be, because of the pressure and the issues that Eastern Europe are having. I think Europe and the UK are going to be looking further afield.
Yeah.
And more so, I think there's going to be airlift available with low fuel costs to take people further afield. Yeah. And the primary thing here is security.
Yeah. No, top.
So I realise it's a balance, because basically what you've got to do is make sure that folks coming into the BVIs are going to be safe and secure, and you're introducing safe and secure people to the BVIs. So there's a measure of checking them on the way in, but at the same time it's got to be seamless.
But the technology is around to do it. It's not brain surgery, and we just have to do what we have to do, but also understand that these are customers or visitors, and we take care of them properly, and with good time they'll come back and become repeat visitors.
I think that the take as well from today was, it's really not that bad. I mean, I know there's a sort of
it's not that bad.
And in terms of, if there was a lot of talk about bureaucracy and barriers to entry, but doing what I do, trust me, there's complexity elsewhere that far outweighs what we have here.
Yeah, for us though, it's quite because of the size of the role that government has in interface with private sector activity. It needs to be as seamless as it will never be. The bureaucracy will never go away by its very nature, but it can be a lot better, and I think there's a sensitivity on the part. It was good for the governor, who's ultimately responsible for the public service, to say, look, we've got to do something about it. To hear him say he's had that conversation, he called in the chief immigration officer, you can't do this. And that helps us, because we go over these issues regularly at our tourist board meetings, and to know that he is similarly plugged in that relationship as a premier would be is good.
No, well, it's good news. I mean, certainly the fact that he's here and listening, and he's reached out to me as well.
He's very engaged. He's been quite, and has a very good relationship with him and Her Majesty's government. So it helps to smooth the way to where we're trying to go. Good.
I was going to say.